Hi everyone, we're going to tell the maximum number of real zeros that each polynomial function may have, and then we're going to list them. And I'm doing, I believe, 6 of these. So basically the maximum number of zeros is dependent on your degree. The degree of this polynomial is 4. So our maximum number of zeros is going to be 4. That's the possible maximum. Now, to get the list of the possible rational ones, we're going to look at P over Q. So we're going to P over Q. Your P is your last digit here. Your Q is the coefficient, the lead coefficient. So the first thing I'm going to do is the P. And for P, we have 1. So our P, the factors of 1 are plus and minus 1. The factors of Q are plus and minus 1, because 1 divides 3, and plus and minus 3. Now, our P over Q equals plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 1 over 3, or 3 over 1, so that's going to be 3, because you're dividing, so that's going to be 3. Now, in the future, what I'm going to do, instead of writing it like this, because this list can get lengthy, what I'm going to do is when I write my P over Q, I'm going to put the plus and minus out front, and then, that's a minus, I'm going to put the 1 and 3 inside. So that way I don't have to keep writing it. Okay. So here's the next one. The maximum number of possible rational zeros, real zeros, we're just looking at reals, is 5. Reals means that we don't have any i's. Okay, so now let's look at the P. Your P is going to be plus or minus 3, or 1, and plus or minus 3. And then for Q, you just have your lead coefficient is just 1. So it's going to be plus or minus 1. So your P over Q is going to equal plus or minus, and then I'm going to do this, so I'll have to keep writing plus or minus 1, 3. That means it's both 1 and 3. You're just dividing this up. Okay, so it's pretty easy. The next one we have is here. My maximum number of possible rational zeros or real zeros is 5. My P is going to be, let's see, plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 3. And the next one is going to be Q, and our Q is 1, so it's going to be plus or minus 1. And so therefore your P over Q is going to be the same as before, plus or minus 1 and 3. That's set. All right, and for this one, we have the maximum possible real zeros is 5. My P is this last one. That's going to be plus or minus 1. My Q is going to be plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2. So when we do P over Q, I'm going to put the plus and minus in front, and then we just divide. So that's going to be plus or minus 1 and 1/2. All right, and then I think this is the next one. We have negative 4x cubed. So the 3 is your lead, it's going to be your degree of the polynomial. So that's the maximum real zeros for this polynomial. Your P is plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 2. Your Q is going to be plus or minus 1 and plus or minus 4. Oh, and 2 and plus or minus 4. All right, Now, when we divide this to get your possible rational zeros, put the plus or minus. And basically, if I'm going to take this 1 and divide it by each of these pieces. So that's going to be 1, 1/2, and then 1/4. Then I'm going to take the 2 and do the same thing. So 2 over 1 is 2. So 1/4. And then 2 over 2 is 1, but we already have that. And then 2 over 4, this one, is going to be 1/2, which we already have. So these are your possible rational zeros. Let me erase that. Okay. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.